Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Catherine. If this is your first time visiting, welcome. You've probably found my channel by searching for information on cruising. I also do beauty and lifestyle reviews. I've started a new series on my channel specifically about cruising. And just to give you a little bit of a background about me, I have been on 13 cruises. I've cruised Alaska, the Caribbean, the Mediterranean, and the Baltics. And I have always sailed with either Princess, Holland America, or Celebrity. So I thought in my first video of my cruising series, I would talk to you a little bit about additional or hidden fees of cruising. So you've booked your cruise and you're excited, and you may be thinking, great, this is an all-inclusive package. But you may not be aware that there are some fees that aren't included. And I just wanted to share some of what I have learned through my experience through cruising in the last 22 years. So it's not such a shock to you once you get on board. Well, first of all, you may or may not be aware that there is a daily service charge. And this is for tipping. Typically, depending on the cruise line and depending on the category of your cabin, there will be a daily service charge of $12 or more per person per day. And this is just basically for tips that gets divvied up between the cabin steward, the wait staff, additional staff, staff that you don't necessarily see on a daily basis. And I much prefer this system rather than when I first started cruising, where on the last night of the cruise, envelopes were available. And everybody was just awkwardly sort of hanging around, waiting to get their tip. I just prefer it like this. And I also prefer now on some cruises, you can prepay your gratuities. So it's sort of, already taken care of. You don't have to worry about it and you don't have that awkwardness. Another thing that you may not be aware of is that not all drinks are included in the price of your cruise. Yes, the standard tap water, coffee, tea, iced tea, and orange juice are included. But if you want soda, bottled water, alcohol, non-alcoholic specialty drinks, specialty coffee, those things are an additional cost. Now, I don't drink that often, so I can't really speak to the bar package. But I have seen in different literature when I have cruised is that a package per day can cost anywhere from $50 to $60 US per person. That seems like a lot of money to me. I don't know if it's cost effective. It may be for some. I usually drink bottled water and I have the occasional soda. I'm not a big soda drinker, but they also have soda packages and they probably run, well, I'm not really sure of the cost, but for me, I know I looked into it and it just wasn't cost effective. But if you drink a lot of soda, it may be for you. Another cost is excursions. Now, you don't have to take excursions, but typically I always do, and I always take them through the cruise line. And there's two reasons why. The first one is peace of mind. I've actually seen people left behind in cruise ports. The ship has a schedule that it has to stick to. It may stick around for a few minutes after its scheduled departure time, but it can't stick around forever, and it can't hold the ship up for one or two people. Personally, I'm more comfortable taking an excursion through the cruise line. Yes, it may cost you a few more dollars, but it's so well organized. They are in constant contact with the company that has you out on the excursion. So if there's a problem, they know about it and they will hold the ship for you if you book an excursion through the cruise company. And I know this because this happened to me when I was in Greece. We were on an excursion in Athens and we were 2 hours late getting back to the ship because it was a national holiday and the traffic was horrendous. And our excursion leader was in constant contact with the shore excursion officers back on the ship, and they waited for us. So that was a big relief. I can't imagine being left, in a foreign country, and especially for me where English is not the first language. if I was on my own, it must be quite a headache to try and figure out what you're supposed to do next. Oh, and another tip that I might suggest to you, it just came into my mind, was every time you come into a new port, there's a printout left in your stateroom the night before about the port, and there's usually emergency contact information on that. I always tuck it in my purse just to have it, just in case. You never know. And the second reason that I like to personally go on my excursions with the cruise line is for safety. As a woman traveling alone, safety is an issue, but also crime. You're not familiar with some of these countries that you're landing in. Your guard is down because you're on vacation. You might have a few drinks. So I just feel safer on the excursions through the ship. Shopping. There are so many wonderful shops on board cruise ships. There are designer shops. There are shops where they sell ship logo apparel, food items, alcohol, tobacco, designer purses, you name it, jewelry, they have it. They always are running sales. Yeah, you can spend a lot of money on board. And you know, when you're not paying cash, because you don't carry cash on a cruise ship, everything is done through your little cruise card. And whenever you check in at the cruise port, you'll be given a little card, and it looks like a credit card, and they will take your picture. That card is your life while you're on the ship. That is how you get on and off the ship. That is how you pay for drinks, how you pay for anything you might buy in the shops. If you go play bingo, that is how you pay. Well, you may pay cash for bingo. It depends on the cruise line. But you know what I mean. So don't lose that card. And it's very easy to forget that you're spending money when you're actually not paying with money. You're just like, you know, paying with this card. So by the end of the week when you get your cruise bill, you're like, why did I spend that much money? There are also art auctions on board. And for Canadians, you have to think about the exchange rate, because right now our dollar is a little low. And if you are sailing with one of the main cruise lines, like Princess or Holland America or Celebrity or Royal Caribbean, everything is in US dollars. So just be mindful that, you know, you have to think of the exchange rate. The internet. The internet is not free, and it is quite expensive. There are different packages. I realize you don't have to have the internet. I like to have the internet because I like to keep in touch with what's going on back at home. It is slow. It's slower than our high speed here at home, but it is another cost. Dining. You don't have to go to the specialty dining restaurants. I never have in any of my 13 cruises. I'm quite happy with the food in the main dining room, but I know a lot of people like to have, you know, a different dining experience where it takes a few hours, or they want to try like different food that isn't readily available in the main dining room. And they look beautiful and people seem happy because they're always busy. But it is an additional cost, and it typically runs between $25 and $30 American per person. Bingo. If you want to play bingo, there's a charge for that as well. Fitness classes. The gym is free. On any ship that I have been on, you can use the gym. But if you want to take specialty classes, I don't know, like maybe Pilates or yoga or maybe a spinning class, I know that there are fees for that. There's also wine tasting. There's a fee definitely for that. I've never done it. I don't drink wine, but I know they're always pushing it on different cruises. The spa. The spas are so beautiful. I have never been. I would love to. The services look heavenly, but they also look quite expensive. My daughter went to the hair salon to get her hair set once for a formal night because we were having family pictures taken. And it was costly, but it was a treat. So obviously the casino, you need money for that. Well, you don't actually need money. The machines take cash, or they will take your cruise card. Medical attention. If you need to see a doctor, there is a doctor on board, but you do have to pay for that. So make sure that you have medical coverage before you leave home. photos. They are always taking photos. When you get off the ship, when you get on the ship, throughout the ship, they're taking photos, they're taking videos, and they're lovely. And my first few cruises, I spent a lot of money on photos, but I never look at them. You can take nice photos as well. Now, I'm not discouraging you from buying the photos because they are cute, because at every port, I didn't realize my camera had shut off, so the ending of this video got cut off, so I'm refilming it. But as I was saying about photos, they do take lovely photographs, and at every port they usually have staff dress maybe as a pirate, or I've seen them dress as a shark or a bartender, just different costumes. It depends where you are in the world and how it pertains to the port that you are in. The photos are lovely, but they are pricey. They also offer now on some of the ships formal sit-down galleries where you can book an appointment and have family photos taken, or just your own portrait. Another thing that you may or may not have considered is transfers to and from the ship. For example, if you land in Fort Lauderdale, are you going to purchase a transfer through the cruise line where they bus you to and from the ship? Or are you going to take a taxi on your own? That's an additional cost. And what I recommend, coming from a cold climate in the wintertime, I usually fly to Florida the night before my cruise. That way, if the flights are delayed, which today, even in the summertime, they get delayed, you won't miss your cruise. Because unless you book your air through the cruise line, or there's a substantial amount of people that are late getting to the ship, they can only wait a short period of time, and then it is up to you to get to the next port of call. So you could end up missing a day or two of your cruise. Always check with your travel agent or cruise line. Their websites are a wealth of information. There are also many other helpful websites online, such as Cruise Critic. If I can answer any of your questions, I would be delighted to do so. I know that you are going to love your cruise. Cruising is so much fun. I would love to hear how you enjoyed it, what ship you were on, and what cruise line you were on. So please drop me a line in the comment section below. I hope that this video has been helpful in some way, and if it has, please subscribe to my channel so you are kept up to date on my new content. I would love to have you as part of my community here at Catherine's Life. If you have any video ideas that you would like to see that I could help, that might help with cruising, please let me know. As always, thank you for your time, and I wish you a very good day. See you in my next video. Bye.